1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mike Hedding here, coming to you today with a beginner arrangement of the classic old fiddle tune Soldier's Joy in the key of D. We're just going to play this in standard tuning without a capo, and it's really good practice to play in the key of D without a capo. I've got a basic A part and a basic B part, and then a variation for each part. I'm going to break all of it down note for note, and then show you a bunch of backup I would do. So how to do easy pick strum rhythm through the chords, and some easy bass walks I would do for this song. And if you're watching the preview of this lesson, you can head over to my website, MikeHeddingMusic.com, and grab the full lesson. You'll get access to watch all the videos, and you can download the tabs and the practice tracks. All right, here's Soldier's Joy in the key of D. All right, let's start breaking down this beginner version to Soldier's Joy. So I'm just in standard tuning. I'm going to be playing out of the key of D. You could also do this one capo 2 playing out of C, but I like to play without a capo whenever possible. It's good practice. Just helps you learn the fingerboard and the fretboard. You'll also learn the real chords rather than the capo chords, which is helpful if you're playing with fiddles and bass and mandolin and people that don't play with capos. Okay, so we're just in the standard regular guitar tuning. Let me play the first 5 measures, then we'll start breaking it down. Here we go. Do that a few times. And one more time, really slow. Start up here in kind of a partial 2-finger D chord. I've got my first finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and I've got my 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So basically this D chord, but I'm going to use my 2nd finger and free up my 3rd finger, and then I'm just going to omit the high string for now. So I'm going to play a little pickup in measure 1. I'm going to play the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, and then the 4th fret on the 3rd string. And this is also a really good lesson to work on your up and down picking. So on the down strokes we're going to do, or on the down beats we're going to do down strokes. On the up beats we're going to do up strokes. So I have all the pick direction listed below the tab. So the staple looking symbols are the down strokes. The V looking symbols are the up strokes. Really important that you follow the pick direction on this lesson. It'll really help you play the song. Okay, so we're going to do again a down up on 1, 2, 3, 4 and. So we're playing 8th notes to start, so we're going to go. So down up there. So not too hard. So what I would do is count 1, 2, 3. The other way you could do it, if I didn't write this in, but if you wanted a longer intro, you could do what's sometimes called taters or potatoes, which is basically like a fiddle intro, and you would hit the open D string and you're going to do down, down, up, down. So you would do like 2 measures of that. So 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and then 4 and. So you don't have to do that, but again, if you were starting the song like at a jam with no other intro, that might be a good way to kind of set the tempo for everyone else in the jam. Again, I'm doing. So usually you would do like 2 measures of that. You could also do it in 1 measure. It's basically like the equivalent of the drummer like clicking their sticks to kind of set the tempo before the song. So that's all you're doing there. If you wanted to add that, you certainly could. So one more time, here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and then here's measure 2. So you have your first finger down on the 2nd fret, keep that down, and you're going to play that note. And then you're going to move your 3rd finger down to the 4th fret of the 4th string. This is also like a 3-finger D shape that's really important. So you have That's a really good one to practice. If you had to use your pinky, you could, but I'd recommend using your third finger. So again, we're going to play that note, and then down to the 4th fret, and then we're going to do a little run. Open D string, back to that 4th fret, and then 2nd fret on the 3rd string, back to that 4th fret. So you have good picking practice. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you could also lift your 2nd finger up if you need to. So you'd go. This is really good practice of keeping your 1st finger down. That's basically like your anchor. So what we're playing there is called an arpeggio. We're playing the notes that make up a D chord. D, F sharp, and A. And we're just playing them in a different order. That'd be another basic way you could play it, is just all downstrokes. 2, 4, open 4. That'd be another way to play that basic melody. The only thing we're doing is we're just filling it up with a little more picking. So we have. Do it a few more times. And then right here, go back to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. And then back up to the 3rd fret 2nd string, play that note twice. So you have. Loop that first couple measures. So that's like the measure 1 into the middle of measure 3. And then we're actually going to play that same pickup at the end of measure 3 to walk it back down. So let's practice that a few times. We're going to play that melody line a bunch. See how I'm just keeping my left hand down. Besides my 3rd finger, my left hand's really not moving at all. That's, again, a subtle thing, but if you go, if you're lifting each finger up, it's going to be a lot more work. So try and keep your 1st finger especially down. That'd be a little thing you could practice, is just doing that little arpeggio that we'll do. So again, we're going to walk back down in measure 3. And then right here, we're going to play that arpeggio I was just playing. So it's basically a faster version of measure 2. So instead of doing quarter notes, now we're going to go 2, 4, open 4 with 8th notes. That's really good picking practice. I'm also kind of accenting the downbeat. You're hitting that 2nd fret with a downstroke each time, you know you're doing it right. Good speed practice as well. So that's what we're doing there. It's just a variation of measure 2. You could also play measure 2 if you wanted to. So either way would be fine. So measure 2 and measure 4 are just variations on each other. So. And then measure 5 is the response. So open 3rd string. And then 2nd fret on the 4th string twice. So it's kind of a call and response. We have the call. Now we have our response. And then right here, we're going to play a pickup 4th fret on the 4th string, open 3rd string. That's just a different way to get into the next melody. Instead of going down, now we're going up. We're getting to the same note. Measure 6 is the same as measure 2. So that's all the same as 2 and 3. So again, it's a call and response melody. So we do our call. Now we have our response. Now we're back to our initial call. Now here's our ending response. Then we play the ending lick. So kind of like a fiddle or mandolin style ending. We're going to play 3 open, 3rd fret 2nd string, open high E, down up. and then 2, 5, 2 on the high E string. I'm going to use my first finger and my pinky, and then down to this 3rd fret 2nd string. You could keep that note down if you wanted to, but I'd probably lift it up. It's a big stretch, so you have... So it's the same arpeggio notes that we were doing down here. D, F sharp, and A. D, F sharp, A. We're just mixing them up in a different order. This time we're going F sharp, A, F sharp, D. So again, these arpeggios, the notes that make up the chord, are really strong melodies that you could play. Again, a lot of fiddle tunes, a lot of bluegrass songs are made up of arpeggios. Again, it's the notes that make up the chord, so it makes sense those are really safe notes. Again, so we're going... So down, up, and then a little ending lick, open 3 on the high E, back to the open E string, and then an upstroke on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string, and then a little ending lick. So 3, 2, 3, open E, 3rd fret. Just like a little fiddle or mandolin ending lick. So we have... So a couple ways you could do that. I'm doing it with all picked notes just for good practice. You could also do it with like a hammer-on. Right here, maybe you do a hammer-on. Remember, a hammer-on takes the place of a picked note, so if you're going to play that, don't do a down-up with your pick. And then right here, you could do a hammer-on as well. That'd be like an upstroke hammer-on, which is good practice. Down, up, down, up, down. Remember, hammer-ons take the place of a picked note, so if you add a hammer-on, take out the picking, okay? So let's play it without, I'll play it without the hammer-ons and then I'll add it back. With the hammer-ons. And again, hammer-ons and slides are kind of like extra credit. You can add them when you want to, you can take them out when you don't want to. I usually like to start kind of as a baseline without hammer-on so I know how to play it, and then I add them in when I want to. Okay, so that's our ending lick. Now we're going to go back down. You could play our same pickup right there and walk back down to measure 10, which is the A part variation. But I went back down and basically went up. So 4, open. That same pickup we did in measure 5. Either way, just giving you some more options.